I don't think anyone has really yet appreciated the full impact of the digital revolution. I personally believe it's having a greater impact than the industrial revolution, the printing revolution. I think it's affecting us, not just relationally, it's definitely having huge impact on relationships. I think the evidence is showing increasingly that it's impacting us physically. Brains are actually being changed by the way people use technology. There is a rewiring going on, a reshaping going on, which is affecting the way people think, the way people study, the way people acquire and retain information. It's having huge spiritual impact, partly because of the way that people are just living in a world of constant distraction. Spiritual life can't flourish in that. It needs space, it needs silence, it needs prolonged time. And I would recommend people read Tim Challies' book, The Next Story. I think of all the books I've read on the subject, I think that really is the closest to analysing the full width and depth and length of the impact of technology. Looking at it again from various perspectives, but also giving people some exit strategies, or at least coping strategies, to keep this in its place. No one loves technology more than I do. I marvel at the wisdom of God in it, because when I see Steve Jobs produce a new Apple, we admire the human genius, but there's a divine genius who has allowed these discoveries and inventions to be made. He's the ultimate creator. So, I look at it and I admire the wisdom of God and the goodness of God. I'm so glad we live in this age. I don't want to live in 100 years ago or 200 years ago. We have so many benefits. But we do really have to appreciate the downside, the risk, the damage. And I think Christians have to be quite aggressive. You can't just sit back and take the odd defensive measure. You've actually got to go in the offensive with this for yourself, especially if you're a parent with your children, and start young. If you just wait till they're teenagers, it's too late, and they're going to be ahead of you. And so you've got to keep educated, you've got to keep in relationship with your children over these matters, build an accountability relationship, trusting relationship, because if we release them on the world without any training, any defenses, any coping strategies, they have no hope, really. They are wide-eyed and bushy-tailed about technology. They're not naturally going to think up the negatives. So a parent has to come in and give them the tools, the way to think, the way to approach technology, so that they can get the benefit from it, and yet prevent damage to their own relationships, for sure, with other people, but also with God, and even prevent damage to their own brain, the way they're going to be able to think and study, process, retain information for living a wise and useful life.